There's a big media event going on for Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and they've invited the entire cast of Princess and the Frog to ride through for photo ops. But as the failure rate for the ride continues on, it sounds like the star-studded cast got stuck just like everybody else. Let's talk about that on That Park Place. Hello, I am Jonas J. Campbell, an investigative reporter for That Park Place, and here with me is my Wookiee co-pilot, Mr. VashSky. Vash, are you ready to talk about Tiana's Bayou Adventure for the first time that we've ever talked about it here on this channel?
This is really revolutionary for us, for sure. No, I think it's worth talking about again because if only for the simple fact that now it's not just the media that have been subjected to Tiana and all that it has to offer and its breakdowns, not just the guests, not just everybody else that has to ride this thing, but it's also now the cast. So it's now affecting everybody.
That's true. That's true. They couldn't even get a full ride through together while they had all these celebrities here. Disney World hosts the Princess and the Frog cast for Tiana's Bayou Adventure launch. This one, I'm going to say it's probably from WDW Magic staff. Walt Disney World recently welcomed the cast of Princess and the Frog to celebrate the upcoming June 28th opening of Tiana's Bayou Adventure at Magic Kingdom. Look at them there. There's the guy who plays Naveen. There's Keith David. There's, by the way, that's Bruce Campos. A Jennifer Cody, Anika Noni Rose, beautiful voice right there on Anika Noni Rose, Jennifer Lewis, the guy who plays Lewis, and of course, legend right here, Jim Cummings, the voice of Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Darkwing Duck, you name it. He's done the voice of them. Even your mother and father, he provided the voice for them. No, seriously, Jim Cummings does the voice of everything. Look at this bright and shiny group of people. They actually, I could have just read this entire thing right here. I love this shot of all of them going down on the on the final lift hill here, and Jennifer Lewis is actually looking back on everybody else. There they are, smiling, happy people, getting paid to represent Disney. But as you knew from everything we've said so far, there's a twist. Jennifer Lewis, voice of Mama Odie, leads guests in sing-along while stuck on Tiana's Bayou Adventure. There's the character that she plays, by the way, Mama Odie, and one of the better animatronics that they have on this ride here. But if you look, Mama Odie, voice actress Jennifer Lewis, sings Dig a Little Deeper with fans while they wait to disembark on Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Right here, this is a different crowd of people, I do believe. So I think she wrote it 3 times.
Oh my God. We don't care. Don't matter where you come from. Don't even matter what you are. Oh my
God. It's kind of fun, by the way, when you don't consider some of her recent comments, having the actual person involved in the ride. Actually, she's not involved in the ride when you think about it, because they cut out her version of the song. They replaced it with an Afro-Cuban version of Dig a Little Deeper.
Oh yes, I forget about that. Actually, they just walked into the library, the archives right there, and just pulled it. Okay, sorry, I'm not going to do the whole bit right there, but yes, Jennifer Lewis, she is featured in the attraction, but obviously not in a singing role, which is unusual. But why were they stopped there? Well, Tiana's Bayou Adventure and the breakdowns, they rear their ugly heads. Once again, this time from Mouse Planet right here. The rumored operations problems unfortunately continue during the invited media preview at Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Was asked to exit the queue after nearly 45 minutes. Back in now because was told it reopened. However, we haven't moved much in nearly 30 minutes, at least in air conditioning. We have had reports that the attraction, altogether, I mean, we're talking hours of downtime on this day specifically. Again, this is the company's paying a lot for many of these people to be here. They've set them up in luxury hotels on property, like the Contemporary, for example. They've given out $400 swag bags to media members, and yet we still have problems with this attraction. Now going forward, they all the cast looks pretty happy there, but one person didn't look too happy while actually riding the attraction, and that was that was Keith David. The cast of Prince and the Frog riding Bayou's Tiana Bayou Adventure, and I think Keith David speaks for all of us in this picture. Yeah, he didn't he wasn't having a great time, it looked like. and I really do feel bad for Keith David for multiple reasons. One is in the Princess and the Frog ride, or at least this is what this is supposed to be, Dr. Facilier, the character that he voices, is not in the attraction, and yet he was invited to ride this thing. And it's like, why would you do this to this man? And they've not only done this once, they've done this twice, not riding Tiana's Bayou Adventure, but promoting this attraction specifically. You'll remember that earlier this year, Disney hosted the D23 event showcasing the 15 years of the film. And I believe it was in New Orleans itself. And here you see Keith David right here. They invited him down, and they took obviously this opportunity to tout the attraction, right? Tiana's Bayou Adventure. And yet he's not in it. Why? Oh, why? I got to talk to Keith David's agent and be like, what are you doing? Stop.
I hope that he is being well compensated for this. But first of all, Dr. Facilier, one of the better Disney villains of the last 20 years. He has an amazing voice. Obviously, he's the voice of Goliath in Gargoyles. And really, when it comes down to it, Goliath is one of the better Disney characters in the entire Disney afternoon lineup. Really a revolutionary series for when it came out. This guy is just, he's a great on-screen presence. He plays his parts so well, and they just don't like Dr. Facilier anymore because the people within the company, here's what's funny. We're getting a lot of pushback on the idea that, it's all you people would have a problem with voodoo here. For if Dr. Facilier was on the ride, you would say they're pushing witchcraft and all this stuff. Like, no, we don't have a problem with it whatsoever. First of all, Dr. Facilier is a villain, so I don't think anybody is trying to push voodoo as a positive thing. If anything, Mama Odie is the one that's pushing voodoo as a positive thing. But they also changed her from a Bayou fairy godmother. What's actually going on here is that Dr. Facilier, they're worried that Dr. Facilier is offensive to people who practice voodoo. So it's this funny little reversal that there's a side out there that thinks that people have a problem with Dr. Facilier, but there's this tiny little subset down there of people who would have a problem with it from a different cultural standpoint. Now, Disney is deciding not to play that game. Instead, they have a talking alligator shouting hallelujah in the ride. Yeah, that's last time I checked, that was a decidedly Christian phrase there. No problems there. Not going to remove that from the ride. Again, not really offended here by Lewis or anything that he's saying here, but Disney not being very careful.
Hello there, VashSky and editing. I just wanted to go ahead and bring something to your attention real fast. You heard early in the story that Jim Cummings was actually brought to the opening festivities of Tiana. And that is true. And a legendary voice actor, very glad to see that he's getting his day in the sun. However, unlike Keith David, he was actually featured in the attraction, which is weird because this is supposed to be a post-chapter story for this attraction. And, well, Ray the Firefly met his unceremonious end at the hands of Dr. Facilier at the end of that movie. And you can actually see right here, skip to this picture of Tiana's tower in front of the attraction, you can actually see a tribute to both Ray and Evangeline as Ray joined her at the end of that film. So why am I saying that he's in the attraction? And what is this waveform looking thing on your screen right now? Well, those are the waveforms of the song Gonna Take You There. One from the attraction itself inside, and the bottom one from the soundtrack. You can see these beats line up perfectly. Now, you'll know that Ray the Firefly actually sings the soundtrack version of Gonna Take You There that's featured in the film. So all the Imagineers did was they stripped out the soundtrack version from the film and plopped it right in the attraction. You can see right at the top waveform, that's from the attraction itself. The beats line up perfectly. So Jim Cummings is featured in the attraction, but probably not appropriately. Probably more appropriate for Dr. Facilier to be there because, well, he's the Shadow Man. He, has friends on the other side. He's joined them, but we know that those friends do make appearances post-mortem. So very, very interesting. Anyway, just wanted to bring this to your attention. Back to the show.
Now, let's get back to the issue at hand here of Jennifer Lewis we heard that the Walt Disney Company was a little worried about some of the comments that came out of Jennifer Lewis or resurfaced that Jennifer Lewis made from a political nature here. I mean, she went on a rant, and it was covered very thoroughly over there on the WDW Pro channel. I am not going to recount most of what she said because it was full of expletives, basically saying that a current political candidate is insane. Which it's funny to me that you probably could guess that it's either one at this point. But she went on a very long rant about all the people that would support that political candidate and how he is insane and how he would destroy the entire country. And it was this expletive-laden rant about how she knows what mental health illness looks like. So it's fascinating to me that they did this entire ride and they're trying to avoid stepping in it with voodoo, but they have Jennifer Lewis there with her smiley face, and she seems like the kind of woman you don't want to get on the bad side of here. I don't know, but we do want to throw this to our commenters here. What do you think about even the celebrities getting stuck on this ride? Celebrities that maybe shouldn't even be on this ride in the first place. Poor Keith David, poor Jim Cummings, poor Anika Noni Rose, Bruce Campos, and all that.
I saw Nika Nani Rose actually perform with the other princesses on stage, and it was a remarkable thing. And man, oh man, is it sad that we've gotten to this point right here where they have been invited to such a mediocre attraction, and in some cases they're not even in the ride itself. So sad.
Yeah. And by the way, I've heard from many people that even before Anika Noni Rose was in the role of Tiana, that she lit up the room when she came in, that people felt like they were in the presence of an actual star, which is a wonderful thing to say. Now, that being said, we want to throw this to our commenters. What do you think about this situation here? Are you going to be riding Tiana's Bayou Adventure? And do you think you'll be riding it 10 years from now when it's aged a little bit up and maybe those animatronics don't work like they used to before? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And of course, like this video. If you like this video, it does help us out. And of course, consider subscribing to That Park Plays for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.